Hi everyone, fine morning everyone. In the today's
Good
class of
morning.
good morning. The today's class of this non-destructive evolution, I would like to process or progress regarding the applications in the industrial sector, and that is nothing but different kinds of non-destructive evolution techniques that we will be utilizing in industrial sector for different kinds of applications. So, what are the different types of NDT processes that we people are having? So as far as our syllabus has been considered in the previous sessions or previous classes, we had a detailed discussion related to the application of this non-destructive evolution techniques, particularly in specific conditions or specific cases. In the railway sector, what the types of non-destructive processes that are widely utilized, and simultaneously in the nuclear and non-nuclear power plants or nuclear reactors, which will be operating at a wide range of temperature, at a huge range of temperature, that will be operated around 1200 to 1200 degrees centigrades of temperature to maximum of 3000 plus degrees centigrades of temperatures for the commencement of different kinds of activities in order to transfer the material that to the molten state into the molten state and commencement of the activity and transferring of those materials into the different kinds of modes. As such, our casting process has been considered. Even different kinds of methodologies, such as the radiographic technologies, utilization of this X-rays and gamma rays, particularly in view of examining a clear-cut vision in the solid bodies, particularly in the solid bodies. Solid bodies in the sense that will be having the capability of identifying the entire external features of the object after getting manufactured, and internal structures also. That is nothing but how the bonding has been considered between one atomic to another atom, so one molecule to another molecule. And if there is any unwanted particles that has been deposited while the casting process is being commenced, that too in the layer format. So how for or in what dimensional ratio that particular defects are being existing. We all aware that if at all any of the materials which has been obstructing the layer conditioning in the casting process, other than the similar kind of material that the throughout object is existing, it deviates the properties of the or mechanical properties of the material, such as our strength or stiffness, ductility, malleability, related to the different kinds of materials. Either it may be of the ferrous content, non-ferrous content, ceramic materials, or is the polymer materials. In the chemical industries, how most probably this liquid penetrant testing process plays a major important role in the case of this chemical industries, aircraft and aerospace industries, and even automobile industries. These three different segments. In these three different segments, most probably this non-ferrous content of materials plays a major role, such as aluminum, titanium, magnesium, molybdenum, chromium. These are the non-ferrous content of materials which are equivalent with respect to the strength, high strength to weight ratio. So high strength to weight ratio. So clearly it is specifying that the carbon percentage is the major phenomena, or it's the material which is having in the entire composition based upon its percentage levels that varies in the mechanical properties of the material upon the solidification process has been commenced in the case of our casting process. Even by varying the percentages of this carbon in the composition of the materials, We all know that the strength, nothing but overall the mechanical properties, not only the strength, stiffness, strength, and different stress overcoming factors, nothing but resistance oriented stresses automatically will be built up in the objects. Best example is our aeroplanes, which are manufactured with respect to mostly 80% of the materials will be composed of this aluminum, cadmium, molybdenum, magnesium products. Weight will be very much less, and having a carrying capability of weights is very much more. Nothing but a resistance to the externally applied load conditions will be very much high. Nothing but we can say high strength materials. That's why I'm calling it as a high strength to weight ratio. So this can resist to the externally applied loads to a maximum extent, as such as the ferrous content of materials can be capable. ఏవైతే ఫెర్రస్ కంటెంట్ ఆఫ్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఎక్కువ లోడ్స్ అప్లై చేసినా కానీ బేర్ చేయగలుగుతాయో, మన కార్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, కార్ బాడీ ఫ్రేమ్ ఎంటైర్లీ ఇట్ ఈస్ మేడ్ అప్ ఆఫ్ విత్ క్యాస్ట్ ఐరన్ ఆర్ ఎల్స్ ద మైల్డ్ స్టీల్. Most probably this cast iron material, and overall that the engine will be fixed, seats etc of the parts will be getting, decor parts will be getting fixed over that, and on an assembly condition is to mobilize this entire car. And this aluminum is a material which is widely utilized with different structural deviations that use it to confine the exact dimensional structures for commencing the perfect assembly orientation without having any of the external offenses that need to enter at that particular joints also. So nothing but even the air gaps should not be allowed in order to enter. Different water content should not be getting entered. Sorry for the inconvenience, I have got a call. And likewise, without composition of iron also, the materials which are very much strengthened materials can cope up with respect to the heavy loads or external loads that has been applied on the objects, placing a major role in our automobile industries, aerospace industries. So in the casting process or in the casting or shapening process, particularly we can say that shapening process. In the shapening process also, while the process is being commenced, the in-process inspectional techniques will be getting utilized. Particularly in the case of this non-destructive evolution, in the sense we all aware that without any direct contact with respect to the material, the inspection process will be getting happened. So we use it to verify the entire dimensional accuracies, or else based on the input parameters, whether the process is being commencing in an exact ratio or not, we'll be having the relation, a comparison aspect very much clear in this situation. Moreover, the similar kind of applications, this offshore gas or in the petroleum industries or else coal mining industries. Coal mining industries will be looking after now. And the oil and gas industries, we had a detailed discussion in the SDS class that where at what range the sedimentation process is being taken place, or the distillation process is being taken place, at what range of temperature a particular type of oils, at a petrol, kerosene, white petrol, a diesel, at different levels, at a different variants of this temperature factors, we are getting elevated the different kinds of oils from the crude oil, have got a detailed discussion, and what type of applications plays a major role over there. So the chemical variations, indeed to identify the chemical variations at a different range of temperature, and whether the a cupola furnace which will be utilized for this distillation process can be cope up with respect to the temperatures developed at different layering sections. This and all can be identified with respect to our radiographic technology. So entire the process is enclosed process. This is the process that should be progressed in the internal sector. Furnace ఉంటుంది internal గా మెయింటైన్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాము. Coal we used to dump into the chamber session, burning session, and next we'll be lighting a fire. So at a different range of temperatures, we'll be elevating different oils. So nominally, internal గా జరుగుతున్న ఎంటైర్ ప్రాసెస్ కూడా క్లియర్ కట్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్లీ బై ప్రొజెక్టింగ్ ద radiographic technologies, nothing but the high range of laser beams by passing through the material which have the conduction phase of traveling of these beams toward the material and examining the entire sedimentation conditions plays a major role in this particular non-destructive evolution without any direct contact. As these are the phases or application processing units at a huge range of temperature where the man cannot be involved at that particular situations. Even in the welding conditions, pressurized weldings, it's a big task and it's a big competitive factor for the human beings in order to consider a gas state of welding that in particular high strength materials. So these and all are the representatives or various industrial oriented channels, and in this the NDT techniques, different types of NDT techniques or different methods as listed in the slide will be utilized for different kinds of inspections. So now we will be having a detailed discussion regarding this different types of NDT methods that will be utilizing in the industrial sector. So far we have been discussed, and what are its advantages and limitations will be having a detailed look. So first one is a dye penetrant testing process. Normally we used to spell this as a liquid penetrant testing process. So sonic testing process, but this is an ultrasonic testing process is different, and next the sonic testing process is different. So the minimum range of sound waves will be utilized, and verifying of the entire specifications regarding the object is related to the sonic testing process, and the ultrasonic testing process which will be having a greater than 20 megahertz of frequency which cannot be bearable by the human beings. So what's the normal hearing capability of the human beings? Maximum up to 20 hertz to 20 megahertz, and beyond the 20 megahertz frequency has been achieved, then the sound waves related to the will be entering into the zone of this ultrasonic testing process, or ultrasonic echo effects we can say, ultrasonic sound waves we can say. Next thing, the magnetic particle testing process. So here we are having three different types of magnetic technologies. There's a paramagnetic, diamagnetic, and a ferromagnetic substances. So that will be getting varied with respect to the type of materials. As we all know that we are having four different segments of the materials. So initially categorized materials into two different channels, that is metals and non-metals, and metals subclassified into further two types, that is ferrous content and non-ferrous content. Based upon the type of applications, we will be utilizing the materials. And next thing, non-metals categorized into ceramics and the polymers, and for manufacturing of the pipes, boats, different toys, different household applications, domestic applications, and paramilitary applications, that will be coming under this polymer actions. And ceramics, glass composition, and most probably the composition will be with respect to the silica, magnesium, etc. So the magnetization objects so already induced and primitively attractive towards this magnetization upon induction related to the ferrous type of metals, and non-ferrous also the impartation of this magnetic properties towards the material should be commenced. There is an additional parameters has to be consumed during the working process or testing procedure in the testing procedure. So different radiographic testing process, that X-rays, gamma rays plays a major role in order to examine clearly the defects that are existing at the internal level and even in the surface level and subsurface levels of the objects. So surface levels, the minimal cracks or else the rough finishing areas clearly can be identified. In the case of this radiographic technology, we're having a confined to graphical representations that can be captured during the examining process also. So that is nothing but at what range of dimensions the crack is being identified internally. Is there any voids that has been commenced during the casting process? During the finishing processes that are being channeled during the machining processes in the industry, is there any heaviest load applications towards it? And due to that, any of the defects that has been considered over the material? And at what range that has been confided? What are the subsurface characterizations that has been existing upon manufacturing? This and all of the criteria related to deform the materials to a particular extent. So the deformations upon the machining process. So machining process is compulsory for us. Indeed, to shape the material into for the required dimensional accuracies. So if at all that machining process has not at all commenced, we doesn't have any features that support the assembly conditions of two different parts. So shaping is must for joining or else the assembly conditions possibility between two different particles, two different parts. So if at all that has been commenced, automatically almost all the parts will be getting assembled and constitute a major component. So combination of different parts related to a component. Nothing but combination of different parts related to one automobile. Nothing but we are taking the car, doors, wheels, part, a deck, etc. Different parts upon particular assembly conditions, fitting conditions. If at all the design criteria has not been satisfied in the case of this manufacturing, this fitting will not be commenced properly. So that analysis during the working process itself, as before itself we have been called that in-process inspection. So while the machining process is being channeled out or carrying in the industrial wide, simultaneously this is a non-destructive technology because it will not be having direct in contact in the examining process. Plays a major role in order to identify the entire defects that have been existing. So defects in the sense here last generations due to the overloading conditions, voids preparations, uneven surfaces. This will be getting elevated and the grain growth. Is there any settling of the internal atomic particles in a confining bonding range or not? If at all that particular bond range has been not at all happened. So at that particular area, much load cannot be offered by the external implications. Nothing but resistance capability will be getting decreased at that particular point or at that particular area. If at all load has been implied only at that particular area, it leads to cracking situations like that. So internal range that also can be examined clearly by this radiographic technology. And eddy current testing process. So this is also one of the technology utilizing this AC source and this induction status that used to commence the conduction of the electricity in the coil upon inducing induction capability. The induced EMF will be analyzing the internal cracks as we have been discussed in the clearly in the eddy current testing process. We'll be looking at one by one. Dye penetrant inspection process. Dye penetrant inspection, and most probably this inspection process has been utilized for identifying the invisible cracks, those which are having a micro range of cracks over the surface area or towards the subsurface levels. So this dye penetrant test is having the limitation towards that only to the subsurface and towards the majorly towards the surface level of crack identification itself. And even you need to identify the porosity and the other defects that are existing over the surface of the components. And most probably, this can be examined or this testing process is commenced in almost all the materials, ferrous contained non-ferrous, ceramics, polymers, etc. Almost all the on overall the parts, the examining process can be considered. Going on to the procedure, it's having 6 different kinds of procedures. That is pre-cleaning process, drying surface, drying the applying of the penetrant, depositing of the material, drying of the surface, drying of this particular surface. One second. So pre-cleaning is necessary for it. That non-reactant of the materials with respect to the surface will be considered. Next, in the applying of this penetrant, applying of diffusing of this liquid soluble penetrant, and making of this penetrant to be spread toward the object in almost all the surfaces, and applying of the developer towards it, cleaning of the developer that leads towards the removing of this excess penetrant, application of the developer on the surface, which will get reacted with respect to the material which has been or a penetrant which has been applied over the surfaces. And upon that reaction, where the cracks has been identified, will be transforms its color pigment, and hence the rest of the areas where we are having the clear finishing structure over the surface, the penetrant upon applying of this developer will automatically evaporate due to the normal atmospheric conditions. And wherever the cracks has been identified, only at that particular range, this penetrant will get reacted with respect to its developer and changes its pigment. That is nothing but colorless to color confiding areas. That is towards the red color or towards the green color, whatsoever it may be, that will be depending upon the chemical compositions. So the color orientation clearly identifies the crack level. Based upon that, the grain or identification of this crack to a maximum dimensions will be charted out. So the remedy actions for that, the removing of those cracks, the remedy actions such as our heat treatment processes, annealing process. In the MMS subject in the second year, we have been learned heat treatment processes such as annealing process, normalizing process, nitrating process. These processes will be utilized that the material will be taken towards the austenite range of temperature, that is semi-solid to semi-liquid conditions, and remove the stresses or the defects which are being existing in the object. And later on the slow process of cooling, automatically it will be achieving towards the perfect dimensions accuracies, right? So those are the annealing process. So nominally, upon applying, this is the process parameters. See, first one, crack which will be filled with respect to the dirt, so that should be cleaned. So ideal clean nothing but by utilizing our water or else any of the pressurized air technique, or any of the hydraulic technique, that is a non-sticky, which is having a no viscosity in factor, that will be utilized for cleaning process, and hence crack will be getting dust free. That is the pre-cleaning process. And then now the dust piece is ready for examining and application of the penetrant over it. Throughout the surface, the penetrant will be getting applied, and later on that penetrant will be getting removed, and almost the material which we have been utilized as a penetrant will be depositing into the cracks identified, and later on we'll be applying this developer that leads to a confined the elevation of the crack very much clearly towards our observation. Nothing but if you have the confining nature of observing in the micro by utilizing the instruments such as microscope, and visual inspection will be very much clear. And the visual inspection only we use to identify the cracks clearly. So application of this developer plays a major role and for identifying the cracks. So hence, in the liquid penetrant test, we'll be having the 6 different steps to be progressed for clear-cut vision towards the observation of this cracks. And these are the components that you'll be utilizing for testing process, and these are the spray penetrants and our developers in the during the examining process for the identification of the cracks over the objects which will small porous situations. So see, in the our automobile parts also, which will be plays a major role in the combustion process, that too in the engines combustion process. So sprinkling of the first one intake section of air and petrol. So at what range it is confined, at what pressure it need to be obtained. So small porous situations will be taking place for traveling of this air and petrol with an successive charge formation. And if at all any of the cracks has been identified over that, where in the second stroke, a pressurized pressure stroke, it will be getting taken place to increase the maximum pressure. And upon spark ignition, the third stroke related to the power stroke, which ignites with respect to the charge already existing over it, leads to a large range of temperature and pressure. So that will be getting elevated, and due to that, if at all the leakages has been happened, the hazardous situations may be countered. So in order to avoid that, this dye penetrant testing process have a clear-cut observation towards the surface levels and towards the subsurface levels, and identification of the minimal cracks also. Coming to the advantages of this dye penetrant testing process, almost in all the objects, this testing process has been progressed, and is very much simple in the way of operation. Just will be having the 6 different steps: pre-cleaning, applying of this penetrant, removing of the penetrant, excess penetrant which is being applied over the surface, applying of the this developer for clear cut examining, and by the if at all the objects dimensions is very much increased, automatically it is very much clear for visual inspection. Or else in the case of this mini objects and the micro level of the screening process, or else observation of mini cracks which are invisible to our naked eye can be identified very much clearly with respect to the color code representation in the microscope. It's very much less in cost effective, nothing but economical point of view. The experimental process is also very much less and very much sensitive uh, when compared to the magnetic particle testing process. Accuracy way of results will be generated in the case of this liquid current testing process. But we have to come to a one conclusion point that this liquid penetrant testing process will not have any capability of identifying the internal parameters identification. Nothing but atomic range of identification will not be getting identified. In the case of the solid objects, it is limited only to the surface level of identification and to the subsurface level of identification. That's it, but not to the depth considerations. Defects that will be identified and very much depth oriented. So that is the greater defect in this liquid penetrant testing process. And even this cleaning of the components, nothing but pre-cleaning is required, post-cleaning is required. That is an additional burden in order to commence this dye penetrant testing process. And even the results that gives misleads towards the surface films when this coatings has been applied in the form of this penetrants or as the develop developers, which will be utilizing for clear cut observation as we have been discussed. So even this test is limited only for the solid objects for surface identification of defects, but not when amorphous kinds of situations, amorphous kinds of inspecting materials, such as the composition of the materials, which plays a different kinds of materials, such as alloy composition of materials and the amorphous states, powder states. So that may not be happen possible. And even in the case of liquid offenses, phase conditions, phase state of conditions, it's not possible of identification. So that's about the liquid penetrant test that will be utilizing in the industrial sectors for identification of the cracks or else even the leak proofs at different kinds of joints. For example, in the welding joints, welding considerations, the porosity can be identified clearly, whether the joint conformations has been very much clearly commenced. So we are having two different kinds of major welding conditions, welding processes, we used to say, used to call generally fusion state of welding and the fission state of welding. So depositing of the external material in between the two similar or dissimilar kinds of materials. And without any addition of the materials, automatically a liquid phase of heat will be getting produced. But the pressurized welding conditions or as a gas state of welding, gas weldings, or inert gas weldings will be considered over it for melting and depositing and having the bonding between the two different materials or similar materials. So fission state of welding, no addition of external material for commencement of a joint between these two materials. So at that particular situation also, whether the bonding nature has been commenced clearly or not, welding joint, you need to identify the efficiency of the joint. It plays a major role. That too towards the surface level of identification. Coming to the sonic testing process. Normally, as we have been discussed, there is a slight deviation between the sonic testing process and ultrasonic testing process. So sonic inspection, that sound will be creating an object from an external object, and based upon this sound quality, the defect is being analyzed. So that is an enclosed, with an enclosed objects we have to verify clearly. So enclosed objects. So what are the enclosed objects that we are having? Generally, in the automobiles, the entire four different strokes. If the four-stroke engine, four different strokes. Two-stroke engines, two different strokes. So the entire this operational progress will be considered in the enclosed surface area itself. Nothing but a cast iron piece that gives an very much minimized in sound. There is absorption of these sounds, even when compared to the steel, which is having the dropping conditions, and even will generate the very much increasing in its noise when it get reacted with respect to the other materials, or else any of the just force or pressure has been applied on it, it relates towards then echo generations with a high frequency range. But whereas this cast iron material, or else even the mild steel material, which are anti-corrosion and resistant with respect to a maximum range of temperature, will have a dull sound or minimum sound suppression material, we can say. And even some of the best examples, such as cups, saucers, automatically these are good mechanical properties, such as ductile materials, having a very much good ductility of materials, cups. So these can also resist with the heavy loads. Come to the basic principle in this sonic testing process, the vibrations are being utilized, and those will be getting penetrated throughout the material, within the material, by an probes. We'll be utilizing the probes, which will be directly contact with respect to the material, as in the diagram pictorial representation we can say. This considers and probes, and will be passing the generated sound waves through these probes through the material, that leads to pass throughout the material. And in the previous inspection technology, that is liquid penetrant testing process or dye penetrant testing process, it's limited to only surface level of identification of cracks in each and every side, and even the subsurface levels. But in the case of this, the ultrasonic testing process plays a major role, that throughout the material, the sound waves will be conducting throughout the material. And if at all is there any defect internally, see here, if at all surface or subsurface level has been utilized, it is unable to identify the defect which is having internally within the object. Hence, this echo that will get penetrate throughout the material, and if the reflection, and hence this transducer of or propagating wave at a source point itself acts as a receiver also. So hence we can say the transceiver, which generates the sound waves, which trigger the sound waves through the material and receives the signal back to the same origin point. So if all the crack has been identified, initially the depth considerations or dimensions, depth dimensions, length, breadth will be getting clearly specified with respect to the systemic zones. And if at all the crack has been identified, that will be reflecting back by reaching to the defected area. And to which range it is being existing will be clearly identifying by varying this probe over that particular material. So by this, up to which depth by starting from the surface level, the crack is being existing from towards the left to right, at which dimension in its length the crack is being starting, and how much length that crack is identifying, how much depth that particular crack is identifying, can be get clear cut examining process from the bottom surface area onwards up to which dimension it is being existing, the crack is being identified, and what is the particular analyzing shape of this crack, and even if at all the pores are being existed, so pores in the sense locking of the air bubbles in the during the casting process. So that also clearly observed in the case of this pulse echo generation method. See here the tricking, and nominally upon receiving the signals back, so this is the triggering pulse given as an input, and upon identifying this crack, that will be getting reached back to the source, that is receiver point, and this cable will be connected to the oscilloscope. And in the oscilloscope, we use it to identify the cracks at what range those are being existing. So that will be getting analyzed with respect to this time distance scale based on the pulse that has been generated and what are the triggering pulse given and up to which range that crack is being identified. So this is the length of the crack which has been identified in the pictorial representation. This is the length of the crack that clearly identifies in the observation based on the given input. So this is the transmission method, transducer, and here two different technologies are being existing. So trans receiver I have called the probe. It acts as a trans receiver. So transmitting of the signal also will be acting by same probe, and receiving of the signals also commencing by the same probe. And in some of the situations, transferring of signals will be getting done in one side, and upon passing through passing, the analysis of grasping signals will be getting done in the another side. And this is the output obtained, and this output will be given to the CRT or CRT screen, CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope. And if at all the crack has been identified at this particular range, the sound waves will be getting stuck away, and there will not be any signals, and will be having these air gaps, and there will not be any of the receiving signals at that particular zones where the crack has been identified. So here transducer. So we know the concept of this transducer, which transforms the identified energy from one form to the another form. So here the echo form to the electrical form. So transducer used to convert the sound waves to the electrical form of sector. That is nothing but the voltage usually displays in the segment. So if at all, there also, if you have been considered another transducer in order to calculate the analog format or any of the converter, we can say A to D converter. So clearly it will be visualizing in the number in nature. So that is the greater advantage we can consider than the previous testing methodology. So liquid current test is limited only to the surface levels of identification of the cracks, but here throughout the object we can examine the any kind of cracks. That's maybe of additional material that has been deposited in the during the casting process. I will say air voids has been condensed in when the time of entering the liquid, or normally we'll be calling as an this molten metal during the casting process into the cavities. Any of the unwanted metal that has been deposited during the solidification process, etc., can be clearly examined over this, and to what range it is being existed. So the internal level also, by considering in the solid effects of object, can be clearly examined in the case of this ultrasonic testing process. Coming to the limitations, the irregular shape and having high roughness parts, those can be examined, but clearly the results cannot be identified because due to the variance of these dimensions, it's somewhat difficult in the examining process because the probe initiation or penetration of this echo waves may not be progressed throughout the material. So by this, we will be having a similar drawback, a slight drawback, right? So these are the minimal defects. So we'll be continuing this magnetic particle testing process and some other techniques in the next class. I think the time has been